Good evening. Welcome to the news at 6 on MITV. I am Chumoke Michaels. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has welcomed an investment of $520 million in specialized agro-processing zones by the African Development Bank, AFDB, praising the leader of the multilateral institution, Dr. Adewumi Adesina, for further opening up the economy for investments that provide job opportunities and reduction in poverty. President Tinubu stated this during his meeting with AFDB President after the two-day summit on a new global financing pact in Paris. He said the agro-industrial project strengthens an area of the country's competitive advantage as he listed other areas of priority that require foreign direct investment. The AFDB president thanked President Tinubu for the bold initiatives on removal of fuel subsidy and harmonization of exchange rates, which has now repositioned Nigeria's economy in 3 weeks and stimulated appetite of investors from different parts of the world. Meanwhile, the African Development Bank has assured President Bola Tinubu that the bank will support his efforts and vision in improving the agriculture and power sectors in Nigeria. The president of the AFDB, Adewumi Adesina, disclosed this after a meeting with President Bola Tinubu on the sidelines of the new Global Financing Pact Summit hosted by the French President Emmanuel Macron in Paris, France. Adesina said it was a great opportunity for him to see Tinubu personally commend him for the thoughts and ideas he has brought to the summit in Paris and also discuss so many things. The AFDB boss also commended the Nigerian leader for his boldness, vision, and determination with regard to macroeconomic stability and fiscal stability for Nigeria. In the meantime, President Bola Tinubu, who was initially scheduled to be back in Abuja on Saturday from Paris, France, will now proceed to London, United Kingdom, for a short private visit. Special Advisor, Special Duties, Communications and Strategy to the President, Dele Alaki, who disclosed this in a statement on Saturday, said President Bola Tinubu on Friday concluded his official trip to Paris, France, during which he had an outstanding participation in the summit for a new global financing pact hosted by French President Emmanuel Macron. The president will be back in the country in time for the upcoming Eid al-Kabir festival, according to Alaki. He added that aside his participation at the event, where he represented Nigeria well, President Tinubu also held high-profile sideline meetings with fellow heads of state and government, global business leaders, and chief executives of leading multilateral and development finance institutions from around the world. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has disclosed that the fight against substance abuse and illicit drug trafficking has brought significant results in the last 29 months, with the arrest of 31,675 drug offenders. Chairman of the agency, Brigadier General Mohammed Buba Marwa, retired, made this disclosure in Abuja at a joint press briefing organized by NDLEA with the country representative of the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, UNOC. Marwa said that 5,147 of the offenders were prosecuted and convicted, while over 6.3 million kilograms of assorted drugs were seized within the same period. He noted that the event is to mobilize resources, align policies, and inspire organizations, communities, and nations to work in a particular direction to effectively tackle the challenges of illicit substances in society. However, the UNODC country representative Oliver Stapel, stressed the need for international cooperation in criminal justice with a specific target of dismantling trafficking networks involved in the terrible trade.
Other cases still pending in court nationwide, while 23,725 drug users have been counseled and rehabilitated, majority of them through brief interventions. However, drug supply reduction is only one of the components of the equation. Another crucial component is drug demand reduction, which operationally means prevention, treatment, and rehabilitation. NDLA has made significant investment in prevention, treatment, and rehabilitation over the last 2 years. The doors of our rehabilitation facilities are open to all. Stigmatization and discrimination make recovery and reintegration difficult for drug-dependent users who submit themselves to treatment. This is what the year's theme is about. We must rid ourselves of any bias against those who are drug-dependent to be able to support, expedite, and make permanent their recovery. The theme will serve as an impetus for us to make a collective effort to break down these invisible but formidable social barriers.
Certainly do our part to lend our cooperation in this regard is first and foremost to even further strengthen our collective efforts to increase the capabilities and benefits of international cooperation in criminal justice matters with a specific target of dismantling the trafficking networks are better prepared to take care of basic drug counseling needs, of knowing how to deal with people suffering from drug use disorders, and that needs to be rolled out. We need to further improve on the availability of treatment capacities. We have just heard from the Secretary of the NDLEA the additional centers that have been created. At the last count, we had around 2,500 treatment beds, treatment places for people suffering from severe drug use disorders and therefore requiring medical intervention. That in comparison to the numbers, which are in the millions.
To education, the Lagos State University, LASU, has marked her 40th anniversary and 26th convocation ceremony. At the event, notable Nigerians, including the former Lagos State Governor, Babatunde Fashola, the Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, and others were honored with honorary doctorate degrees. Our correspondent now reports. All right, we'll bring that bulletin in a subsequent news. The Lagos State government has charged real estate agents to keep to the laws and regulations guiding the real estate industry in the state. The permanent secretary in the Ministry of Physical Planning, Oluwole Shotire, disclosed this in Lagos at the unveiling and presentation of 2022 revised Constitution of Estate, Rents and Commission Agents Association of Nigeria. He, however, tasked estate agents to familiarize the reviewed constitution with the rules of Lagos State and Nigeria, as well as familiarize it with developers and properties owners in order to synergize with the government's regulations in the real estate industry. A leadership coach, Dr. Kayode Asheogun, urged ECON members to embrace change in the real estate business of the 21st century through technology, education, teamwork, amongst others, as such brings flexibility and productivity in the building industry. Meanwhile, the national president of ECON, Godwin Alenke, said the review of ECON's constitution at this time in Nigeria was to sanitize and secure the real estate environment.
And so we'll be able to enforce the practice of real estate in Nigeria, whether as individuals or as corporate organizations. Whatever roles you want them to play, you tell them so that we can achieve this together. Once again, I just want to congratulate you on the launch of the Constitution, and I want to tell you that we will forward to working together to achieve a better environment.
The importance of being flexible in your approach. The importance of partnership too. Collaboration is key. To succeed in this real estate business is not a one-man show. It has to be a collective effort. So I appreciate the fact that partnership, teamwork, the association and members of the association have embraced it. But they should embrace it the more. That will help them to go far in their career.
And our constitution has come to sanitize that, because by the revised constitution now, all members of ECAN and also estate agents in the country must do things according to the rules and regulations that governs the profession. And they are partnering with the government to the fact that all members of our association must employ their principals to pay government levies and charges in development, and also for them to be licensed.
My advice to every member is that every member should arm himself or herself with a copy of the constitution to work with it. Outside that constitution, there is no distance, because it's the one, that constitution is the one that will be guiding everybody, which they will be looking to. Anything you want to do, if there's any, you want to go to any meeting, you want to have anything concerning association, before you take decision, you must look at that constitution.